Hey guys, today I'm going to be making a video on C-section, what they don't tell you. I had a C-section at 20 years old. In the very beginning of my pregnancy, I wanted a C-section. I didn't want to give birth naturally. I just felt like that was just scary. So I think I jinxed myself. Because obviously you can't really just be like, hey guys, I want a C-section, because they're not just going to give you a C-section just because you ask for it. It happens for medical reasons. If your baby is breech, or if they have the umbilical cord wrapped around their neck, if you're not dilating like I went into the hospital at 3 in the morning and they checked me at 3:30 and I was at 3 centimeters. I ended up dilating to 4 centimeters, and I did not go past 4 centimeters the whole time I was at the hospital. And I gave birth at 7:32. They didn't tell me that I was going to have a C-section until 6:30 in the afternoon. So from basically 3:30 in the morning when they checked me to 6:30 in the afternoon, I was not dilating at all. When you get a C-section, I think there's I'm not sure if there's another option aside from the epidural, because I don't think my mom got epidural. My mom had 3 C-sections. I don't think she got epidural. I think it was something else that she got. I'm not sure. I got epidural. The contractions were doable. I'm not gonna lie. To me, they were doable. The ultrasound technician put the cold jelly on my stomach, and he wasn't going over the jelly. He was just going on my stomach dry, and it hurt me so bad that it made my contractions worse. Because when you get an ultrasound done, they apply pressure, and that was what made me be like, this, I want the epidural. And then later on is when they were like, okay, you're gonna have a C-section. So because I wasn't dilating, they put me on Pitocin, and this was after I got the epidural, so that they can basically force my contractions to get me to dilate. It wasn't working, so they lowered the dosage because it was putting my daughter in distress. When you get the epidural done, they have you sitting on the bed, and you have to kind of sit all the way back, and they put like a pillow in front of you, and you have to basically hug the pillow. You have to just crouch all the way down and put your head all the way down. And there was a nurse who was in front of me holding my head down, just in case. And the anesthesiologist inserts the needle, whatever. I don't know what he did, that he shocked me. It doesn't happen to everybody. It's not even supposed to happen, but it did happen to me, and I felt a shock just down my leg all the way to my foot. And it literally felt like, have you ever seen Jimmy Neutron? That is what I pictured in my head when I felt the shock go from my back all the way down to my leg. It hurt really bad, and I kind of jumped, and they're like, oh no, you can't move. And I was like, you just shocked my leg, like what did you do? And he was like, oh, that's normal. That's not normal. Okay, that's not normal. That wasn't supposed to happen. Excuse my hair, I had it in a bun. I went into the operating room. I was really nervous. I kind of had a mini panic attack because I couldn't breathe laying flat on my back. And I didn't feel anything. I did feel pressure, them pushing down on me, I guess. I don't know, that's really what it just felt like. I didn't feel any pain at all whatsoever. And I felt a lot of pressure when they were pulling her out. And I didn't know that is what they were doing. My fiance and I were just talking, and I was really groggy, and I just started to feel something weird, and I was kind of like, there was a big sheet over me. I couldn't see, what they were doing. And I kind of just looked at the sheet and just stared at it, feeling all the pressure. And then she came out, and she cried, and After everything was done, after they took her out, I started to shiver. It wasn't just my jaw going up and down. It was like severe shaking, like really, really, really bad. I was shaking really bad, and I just felt so cold. And before they even did the the surgery, I felt very exposed. Since I couldn't feel anything from the waist down, I felt like my hospital gown was like up, all the way up, like on my stomach. Like if I pulled up my gown, that's what it felt like. And it just felt really cold. I felt very exposed. I felt like my hoo-ha was like for the whole world to see. But yeah, and I still felt like that when they were taking me from the table to my bed. And I was literally shaking so bad. And they put a lot of warm blankets on me, and I'm still shaking. Like I said, they took me to the recovery area. My family came to see me. My mom, like I said previously, my mom had 3 C-sections. So she obviously knew exactly how I felt, exactly what I was going through. I don't know if she shivered or if her body shook like mine did. But she was holding my hand and she was just asking me how I was feeling. And as I was talking, I was shaking. I just felt so cold. You can't really do anything. It kind of hurts a little bit for you to get comfortable in the bed, for you to, grab your hands and put them on the bed and lift yourself, you know what I mean? Like kind of like scoot your butt back all the way to the back of the bed. So even with it all the way up, like, the back part all the way up to where I was sitting, I was, I would kind of slouch down a little bit. And then after a while I would slouch down, and then I would want to kind of sit myself back up. If I wanted to breastfeed, I had to sit up a little bit, and it hurt to sit up, like flexing or tensing your body up. It hurt. I felt very helpless when she would cry and I couldn't get up and go to her. My fiance had to get up and go to her. Obviously he didn't have a problem with that, but there was times where he would fall asleep, and either I would be asleep or I would be awake, and I can't just get up and go get her, you know what I mean? I'm not gonna say I couldn't get up at all, okay? No. I'm very good with pain. I have a very high pain tolerance. But it just took a little longer for me to get up. It hurt. Since it was obviously abdominal surgery, air got trapped inside. I didn't even know that this could happen, but it hurt so bad. It's basically gas, stuck inside of your torso. And my breathing was so shallow. I could not breathe. And I literally felt the air go from the very bottom of my back upwards to the back of my lungs. That's literally what I felt. Kind of backtracking a little bit, when they put me into my room, I lifted my gown up and I looked at my stomach. When I was pregnant, I got really, really, really big. She was very long, very fat, very chunky. She had a giant head like her mom, whatever. So my belly got really big basically, and I put the lotion and cocoa butter on my tummy, and it worked until the very ending when I got really, really, really big and my belly dropped, and that was when my stretch marks just got really wide and really long. So, like I said, I lifted my gown up and my stretch marks looked really dark and my stomach was flat. But when you have a C-section, for me, it just flattened itself. And I remember I was when I would go to the bathroom, it was really hard. Like, okay, when I would get out of the bed, it would hurt to go from sitting to standing, and then walking, it was fine, and whatever. It just hurt, and then to kind of sit. I didn't want to sit on that toilet. Okay, ew, gross. You know, hospital has fucking germs and shit, but I couldn't just hold myself or squat over the toilet like I would normally do. I mean, but I couldn't. So unfortunately, I had to sit, and it hurt to sit and then to stand back up. And you know, in the beginning, you're bleeding, you know, and it took me about 15 minutes the whole time in the bathroom, because whenever I did pee and I cleaned all the blood off and changed the pad that they give me, I had mesh underwear on, very comfortable, very stretchy. And then, you know, whenever I went to go pee, okay, after I came home, you know, the urge to pee comes, and you know, I never got that. It was literally just like, oh, I haven't peed in a while, let me go pee. I didn't feel the need to go use the bathroom. I could just, you know, it was the weirdest thing for a good while too. And I didn't understand why, you know, obviously that feeling went away, but you know, it was the weirdest thing. But, you know, in the hospital, I didn't feel like that. So, you know, whenever I would finish doing what I had to do, I would clean my incision every time I went to the bathroom. I had to lift my stomach and clean my incision very softly. They give you stuff to, you know, clean yourself and clean your incision, you know, stuff like that. For me, the incision didn't hurt as bad as the air in my stomach did. They told me that I couldn't go home, meaning I had to pass gas. I had to take that out of me. And I could not get the urge to do that. They were like, okay, we're going to give you something. I thought it was going to be a pill. They came in and showed me this little white bullet-like thing. And they told me I had to back there. And that would make me use the bathroom to release the gas. Basically, I had to do that, and then I had to wait a while. The urge came really fast. I'm telling you, like, holy, that fucking worked. And the pain was gone. The pain was completely gone. And obviously that was a good thing. I got to go home. Them trying to help me, they're basically telling me things to do to help me release all that air inside of my torso. So they had me walking, and it hurt so bad. It was the worst thing that I have ever experienced in my life. The incision was fucking a piece of cake compared to the air that was stuck inside of me. I was seeing literal black dots. I was in so much pain. It was horrible. She had a very strong suckle. And, you know, obviously I didn't know what the fuck I was doing, so I had to figure out how to latch her properly. And she tore both of my nipples within a day. It hurt me really bad, and it was that hurts, bro. For real. Obviously, it doesn't hurt, you know, when they're just doing it, you don't touch them, but having to latch her on again is what hurt. Not only my nipples, but my incision, because, you know, she's hungry. You want to feed her, and she's crying. So I literally just, it hurt to, you know, sit up and get comfortable again. And I put on the pillow and I held her, and then I just grabbed like the back of her neck and just put her on my boob. Is what made me tense up, and it made my incision hurt. But you know, everybody's different. Everybody's experience is different. I didn't really know any of this, and I didn't really ask my mom, you know, because I didn't think that I was gonna have a C-section. But you know, it happened, and I went through it, and I don't really have a scar. You don't really see it though. But the part that you do see that's like a bump is the part where they put the scalpel in. That's really the only thing that really shows, but you know. But yeah, so that was pretty much it. That's what I can really think of, you know, basically what happened my afterbirth, C-section wise and pain wise and body wise. And you know, obviously my pregnancy story is different. That was pretty much it. it is scary because it's surgery, and I was so terrified that I was gonna hemorrhage, have preeclampsia. I was just, there's many things that I was scared about. But it was all okay in the end, and I got a beautiful, healthy baby girl. So I guess it was all worth it. Thanks for watching.